Alright folks, welcome to another beer review. I think I might have reviewed this before, but ever since I was at London Craft Beer Festival and these guys were there, I think they were at all of the sort of like We Are Beer festivals and like Brew London and stuff. And which, by the way, that festival was really good, aside from the fact that I lost my wallet, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, so Budvar were at the stand, or had a stand there, and I witnessed Rasko from Rasko and Disco Beer, or Disco and Rasko. It's Rasko and Disco Beers, isn't it? Shooting a video because he'd already spoke to the guy from Budvar on Simon's live stream when he was at Brew London, and he filmed a video on how to pour the perfect Czech Pilsner. Now obviously that was straight from tap, so there's a little bit of a system. It's a little bit more intricate the way that's set up. So I was on my way home from work. It's boiling again, even though it's the middle of September almost. Well, it's past the middle of September. Starting off really cold and dreary, which is great, my sort of weather. And then as I'm walking home, I mean, you do not want to see what my back looks like right now, especially in a white t-shirt. It's flimsy. I mean, you can already tell I'm a bit heavy set anyway. You don't need this t-shirt to be clinging to me like it is. But yeah, so I thought I need to get some cigs. I was thinking of some crisps to make another crisp butty video. Got a couple of Seabrooks, different flavours that you don't really see that much. Well, I don't, in this little town called Skelmersdale. And noticed a guy went at the counter and had a bottle of Budvar. So I was like, oh shit, I feel like having a bottle of Budvar. And speaking of Rasko, he gracefully and kindly gave me a glass that he got from the festival. So yeah, brand appropriate glassware. What a handsome looking vessel this is. You could cause some proper damage with that. Not that I would ever do that, of course. And yeah, so I thought, do you know what? We'll attempt to... It's probably a re-review, first and foremost, if it is, and I remember to do so. Link will be in the description. But I thought I would attempt to do a suitable Czech pour. So, 500ml bottle. It is a good lager, if it's kept correctly, and some of the other versions that you don't really see too much here in the UK. I think I had the Reserva when I was at the festival, and it was just good. It was just to cut it out from all like the juice, sours and impies, really. So I'm going to bollocks this up, so if this video causes me to be permanently banned from visiting the Czech Republic, then so be it. It's completely justified if so. So I think you do it like a sort of like a 35-degree angle. And then, but mind you, the way they were pouring it on tap, it pours with head at first, doesn't it? So potentially, would we want to get head by doing it a bit more direct in the middle? Because you do want a generous head when it comes to Pilsners. And that's an absolutely terrible attempt. Not what I wanted at all. But I'm only human, and I'm the clueless drinker for a reason. So I think you leave it for about 30 seconds. So I'm going to just sit here in silence and contemplate where my life has now found itself on this obscenely warm day. I'm pale, I'm overweight. Temperature like this is not good for me, but it might be good for you. And yeah, I mean, I'm smelling this already, and it's smelling familiar, it's smelling inviting. The head is dissipating really quickly, so I don't think all of those flavours are going to be released. I should have watched a video of someone actually pouring it straight from the bottle, but hey ho, it is what it is. All I know is, if you want a good, authentic Czech lager, you need to be a bit patient. You need a good amount of head, which is something that I don't get enough of nowadays. Not that I ever got, and we won't get into that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to be a little bit more aggressive so we get a big head. So it's a forced fake attempt, and that's probably a little bit too much. So I probably have to wait another 30 seconds before we get into it. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll give it a sniff first. It's bready, it's grainy, as I always expect Czech lagers to be. There's a little bit of a floral character coming through, grassiness. I never find Czech lagers as sort of citrusy as their sort of German counterparts. But it's smelling nice. I mean, just look at the beer itself. Head isn't as smooth as I'd like it to be, but then again, I'm not pouring it straight from a tap that's designed to pour Budvar. But it doesn't half look good in this glass, does it? Looking very nice indeed. Nice sort of like lightly toasted bread coming out of this. You know, when you've like put your bread in the toaster and then you check on it and you get that whiff, but it's nowhere near done. It smells good. Top it up. There we go. So it's not the head that I wanted, but it's the head that I've got, and you can't be picky. And I shouldn't really stand to the side because you can definitely see my tits. Not that anybody's watching that, of course. Anyway, cheers. Let's just give it a taste. I bollocks up the pour. Oh yeah. And frankly, that's a good bottle. Because usually when you go to like those sort of like corner shops, you know, they're not always kept in the best possible way. That's definitely doing the trick. So let's give it another taste. Obviously, when you're drinking the head, when there's enough head in the beer and you take a sip, it smooths out the texture of the beer. But then obviously that crisp, like calculated Pilsner zing comes through, fizzles on the back end. It is very grainy. Like rolled oats, pearl barley, that sort of thing. Nice herbal character as well. It's a good beer, isn't it? It really, really is. It's better than its plagiarist, yet somehow they got away with it and penalised the original American counterpart. But although that being said, I do actually quite enjoy Bud Light, which I think is an infinitely better beer than Budweiser. It's got much more flavour, even though it's less ABV. Speaking of ABV, this is 5% right on the nose. And I tell you what, that is not going to last long at all. Nowhere near poured or presented as it should be. So hopefully the wonderful people of the Czech Republic will still allow me to visit, because I'd love to drink this Urquell, amongst many others, you know, that you don't really see in the UK. And of course you've got like the craftier side of things, but because I've never been to the Czech Republic, I really need to rectify that once things have calmed down for international travel and stuff like that. Because I think I'd just absolutely fall head over heels drinking stuff like this. You know, after living in Germany for such a long time and having like Heller's beers fresh on tap and in big steins, and drinking from like the brewery owned bars or brewery sort of like not sponsored, but you know, where bars like primarily have a specific brewery's beer. You know, it really gives me an appreciation for these styles, which I am noticing the attitude has been changed over the last couple of years. But you still get people who say, oh, it's macro, I don't like macro, why are you supporting macro? Don't know why they've got a gammy arm, but you know what I mean? Just, you know, just sit back and enjoy how well brewed it is. And let's see, imported by Budweiser Budvar UK. So it's actually imported as well. Not brewed here in the UK like other sort of big international brands. It's got a little bit more of a heartiness, robustness, a little bit more oomph. It's a little bit more, I know it's not the best word to use under the circumstances, but it's a little bit more heavier than some of our lighter and tamer pilsners. But this is just packed full of flavour, and just one of those beers that's so easy to get hold of, but I just don't drink it as much as I can, because every time I have drunk it, it's just been a damn good beer. So yeah, that was Budweiser Budvar, probably a re-review, who knows, a terrible attempt at doing an authentic pour, but I can learn. And yeah, so if you've tried this or any of the other beers that Budvar do, or what some of your favourite Czech pilsners, Czech lagers, Czech whatever beers, family owned, macro owned, independent, craft, whichever, let me know what some of your favourite beers are, because there's a severe lack of Czech related content on this channel, and that has to be fixed. Anyway, so cheers for watching, go check out Budvar, and hopefully I'll see you later for another beer review. Cheers guys.